Slammin fans, what's up? I don't know what happened down there in the Florida weather, but I got some color and I lost a little bit of weight. Wait a minute. No, I am not the Monday Morning Racer. I am Slammin Sam, his co-host on the Competition Plus Power Hour. And Lee, tonight, has given me the reins to run his show. So why not do it in style with the glasses? Yeah, baby, Lee style. So thank you, Lee. I appreciate it, everybody. If you want to check out anything that I do, go over to Outlaw Performance ENT. Check me out on YouTube. But first and foremost, please smash that like, smash that share button. As tonight, we got a jam-packed show. I'm going to be yakking it up for a little bit here on Lee's show about drag racing, about the stuff that's going on, maybe some media stuff, who knows. But we do have a great guest, and that is Sean Bellemeur that's going to be coming on. I see you guys out there in the comment world. Thank you guys. Like I said, please like and share. But first and foremost, let's just do a thing. Let's bring the guy that has this great show on as he travels to Funny Car. Chaos. He's on the road right now somewhere in this great place. So without further ado, let's just add Leon Lee. What's up, brother?
Man, I just got off the Interstate I-20 in Alabama, and I pulled into this church parking lot, get off the road. Some nasty weather currently as I am heading west. Thunder and lightning before the chaos of Funny Car Chaos happening tomorrow and Saturday. Looking forward to it, man.
So you feel the thunder and the lightning?
That's right. That's right.
And the lightning. Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, stay safe. Lee, man, I can't, you called me and asked me, hey, Sam, can you do this? Man, it's an honor. It's a pleasure, honestly, of, just being a part of your show. You feeling comfortable with saying, hey, Sam, man, you got this. Do what you do. Yak it up. Talk racing. I truly want you to know I appreciate it. So I'm feeling like Stevie Wonders because you can't see my eyes right now.
Well, man, I'm used to people not making eye contact with me, whether from my hideous nature or because they can't see my eyes through those sunglasses. But when I'm driving, at night, I've got to be able to see, and no shades right now on the road here just off of I-20 somewhere in Alabama, not too far from Talladega Super Speedway. Need to make Jacksonville by tonight, but I'm glad it's not Jackson. It's not Jackson on a Saturday night. Definitely won't be going via Omaha to Enos, Texas. If anybody gets that musical reference, kudos to you. But Sam, you the man. You the man to do it while I'm on the road. Handle this thing.
Lee,
talk it up with Sean.
Lee, I don't know how you do that, man. I can't do it. Like, I'm sorry. I tried. Like, hey, I tried. So I gotta take the glasses off, man. I gotta do it. Sorry.
Hey, be you, Sam. Be you. And let me say this. Because you doing you, and because I believe in this media drag racing outlet, there ought to be more cooperation. That's why you're here tonight. We all can help one another.
You're starting it already, and I like it. That's right, Destroyer 1320. He gave me the keys, and I'm driving this like I stole it. So out I go. Yeah, man, everybody's saying, hey, everybody's so nice. Yes, what's up? James, how's it going? Smash that like. Yes. Smashing that like and smashing that share. Lee, since we've already talked about it, you're on your way to Funny Car. Chaos. I heard from a little one of our buddies, the pit insider, Jeff Arin, that someone drove 22 hours straight in a dually to get there. Some little information I got.
Dude, this is going to be epic. 70 funny cars, 18 fuel altereds. The Dirty South gassers are there. There's old school back half there. There might be almost 200 race vehicles for this event. It is going to be wild, even beyond the funny cars. This is going to go down in the history books. This is going to be one of those, hey, I was there at Funny Car Chaos, Nitro Madness at the Texas Motorplex in 2021. That's what people are going to be saying, that they were there and they actually weren't there. That's how great this event's going to be.
I'm kind of mad that I can't make it. I mean, not alone just the racing that's going on, the atmosphere that Chris has built around this event, the persona that this builds. I know you and I talked about it before. Is it about the money? Is it about the food, the race, and the atmosphere? And like everyone that I've talked to said, hey man, this race brings all of those. And I know you're gonna have a ball. I just ask that you do a couple things for me. And this is my only request since you put me on the show. You got to eat some Texas brisket.
Oh, yeah, man.
In the picture. I want just like a picture mid-bite, kind of like what you have on me on the card. Other than that, have you tried boudin before?
Oh, yes. I know the wonders of boudin. I know.
So I need you to try a little bit of that for me. And then, man, just have fun, honestly. Have fun, do you. We know you're going to get great content out to everyone that follows you, including myself. So I'm just excited for you, man.
Yeah, the plan is to get as many pictures as I can, but definitely with the race itself for the funny cars and the alters, we're going to get the eliminations covered, have that on the YouTube channel later on. If I can find someone to hold a camera for me, I might even do a pit walk out there with 70 funny cars and funny car chaos.
Chaos. Sorry, guys out there. I don't think you can say funny car chaos without doing the echo.
You got to do it. You got to do it. It just adds to it. It just adds to it.
Andrew, I like that. Stacking Sam instead of slamming Sam. I like that. He saw the money there.
Hey, speaking of stacking, make sure you message me your PayPal. You getting paid because of night. You getting paid.
Mama, I made it.
Hey, look, man. When Sean comes on, this is what I want you to ask Sean for me. When Sean comes on, ask him.
Write it down.
Write it down. Ask him, how does it feel to get the VIP experience when they roll through the gate at a Midwest Drag Racing Series race instead of being put back in the grass at an NHRA event? I want to know.
So the VIP treatment where?
At the Midwest Drag Racing Series events.
All right. Got it. Wrote it down, boss.
Cool. Sam, look, you're going to do a great job. I know you are. I don't know if Sean's there or not, but I got to get rolling. I got to get on the road. Yes. So look, take us to a break, and I'm checking out.
Hey, exactly. You be safe on the road. I know we've talked about this, so be safe. Check in. I'm like Dad today. Check in. Make sure, you're staying awake. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. All right? I got you.
Thank you, man.
So you guys be safe. Lee's going to check out. He's trusting me. And let's get this party started. I see Sean rolling in right now. He just rolled in. So, Lee, we are going to take a break now. But you be safe and have fun, my brother.
Thank you. Hero Soap Company is a veteran-owned establishment that produces all-natural, essential oils-infused soap that is sold with a portion of the proceeds supporting other veteran groups. Hero Soap Company. Heroes supporting heroes. Be a hero yourself and buy a bar and let freedom fling.
Yes, let freedom fling. Exactly that. All right, guys, I'm going to talk about some talking points that I think right now in the world of drag racing are kind of important. And one thing that Lee and we love to do is share our media team work. Lee has Monday Morning Racer. I have Outlaw Performance ENT. We have the Monday Morning Racer. We have the Limo Guy. We have Wes Buck, Drag Illustrated, Competition Plus. I think that it is important for anyone that's in the media industry is to promote our sports. That's how we promote our drivers. Sharing the information. Just because you may be on a different media team or a different outlet, that's fine. But helping tell the stories of each one of these racers is very, very important. So I encourage all you guys, Destroyer, he does a great job of it. Darren with Hot Rod Entertainment, he does a great job of doing that. So you guys, please help us out of telling these stories of the racers, getting the word out about drag racing so we can grow this sport. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channels. Hit the like button on Instagram, Facebook. Support these pages and these channels because that's how we grow the sport that we all love, and that is racing. We all love that community. So let's keep doing it. Going Bracket Racing Show says, what's up? So what's up, man? Just here, taking this journey. Jesus, take the wheel type situation. Lee gave me the keys, so I'm riding it. Yes, again, safe travels to Lee. So going on, funny car, chaos. We've got that going on down in Texas. Down in Vegas right now, we've got the Spring Fling. A lot of, good sportsman racers are down there right now, proving their skills, out there to win some great money. So that is good. Unfortunately, with the NHRA right now, we are talking about the Atlanta track and everything that's going on. If you missed a great show that Lee and I did this past Tuesday, the Competition Plus Power Hour, you can go back and watch that on YouTube, or you can listen to that on all your major podcast forums. So there's so much to talk about. And with that too, we have great guests that we like to talk to you and bring in. So, it's one of those things where how do we, define what exactly we're going to talk about in drag racing at this point? Season is kicked off. The Gators, there was a great show there. 2 million people watching that. That is huge for the sport. And we can only hope that it continues to grow and we can see more fans in the stands and supporting each one of these guys and girls that are out there driving. Pat, I'm becoming addicted to this show. Awesome. Hopefully I don't ruin it for you tonight. I mean, like I said, I am no Lee. I am no Monday Morning Racer. So hopefully I don't ruin it for you here tonight. If you guys got any questions for me too before we bring on Sean here, please ask them. Sam, what's up, brother? Lee, Monday Morning Racer, we love you. That's right. There's a lot of love. Keep doing what we're doing. Wade, we're trying to, man. Appreciate that. I know Lee would, appreciate that. Here we go. Sam, let's hear your thoughts on Mr. Steve Fast trying to break the interweb with a couple of pictures. All right. Sean, I'm sorry. I got to talk about this a little bit, and then I will bring you on. Okay. What he did, first of all, if anyone knows anything about me, I love the radio world. I love NHRA, Pro Mod, and Pro Stock. I've got a few drivers that are my favorite in, the nitro classes, but the door slammer racing, as you can see right here, is very huge to me. Stevie Fast Jackson is the future of racing. We all know that. He is the next level John Force. And he's a character, and that's what we need more of in the sport. We need people to show the true and raw emotions of how it feels, what they're thinking, what they're doing. Now he goes to the radio side of racing, and he can talk a little smack, and he backs it up. Now, hopefully, I don't get in trouble for saying this, but as far as this year, he hasn't really backed it up. Wasn't at the Door Slammers. He had some other stuff going on. Hey, it's life. But then you go to the Gators, and Stevie Fast wasn't so quick. Didn't make it. That's huge. You're the number one guy in Pro Mod. You don't make it at the first race. Pro Charger has a lot of negative stuff going on right now. Everybody is, the Pro Charger this, the Pro Charger that, this, that. I don't honestly think it's a bad thing that he did that. First of all, I don't think it's a bad thing because Abelushi was on a damn rail the whole time at the Door Slammers. I mean, that car was a bracket car. Consistent. He had the laps. He had the time. So therefore, you can't get mad at that situation. Now, the picture, if you know Steve, he was just doing it to shake up the internet. Get some arousal out of people. If you saw the pictures he posted a couple of days ago, he's testing, he's out doing stuff. So yeah, testing is important. You have to test because without testing, that's how you get beat on a hole shot. Without testing, that's no more data for you. So That's all I'm going to say there. Real Pro Stock. That is the limo guy, Scott, man, what's up? If you guys haven't done already, give Scott, the Real Pro Stock, what he's doing. Give him a like, give that show. That is a full-blown 30-minute show that he's putting together and producing. That is awesome. Scott says he broke the burnout at Lights Out. So, yeah, I mean, he's got stuff going on too. You're talking about Stevie Fast, so that is right. Is he really going pro charger? That is a question. There is an answer. Not my business to tell that man's information. So if you would like to know, stay tuned to what he's got going on, because I'm pretty sure you might be entertained. And that's what it's all about, man. We're in the show business, and I can guarantee you Sean's going to say the same thing. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Scott, for what you do. Thank you, Destroyer 13. This is an awesome show. But, guys, I can yak it up all day, all night about this, but we're going to have some time after this. I want to get to know the Monday Morning Racers fans. I don't want to keep Sean waiting too long, as he's in beautiful California, I'm pretty sure. The Amish guy is not here. Sorry. You get the very tanned guy today. So, yeah, he's not here, but we will definitely have a great show. And we're going to thank another one of these sponsors, and that is Power Built Tools.
Power Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.
Guys, and without further ado, we are going to bring on the star of tonight's show. And there you are, Sean. How's it going tonight?
It's good, man. I'm almost bummed out you didn't bring me in on the Stevie Fast conversation. I got stories about Stevie Fast too.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. No one's safe here. Yeah. Sorry, Lee. No one's safe. No one is safe here. So if you want to talk about it, hey, people are still asking. They want to know. Let's see here. The man sure knows how to stir up the pot. He does, but he's good at it. You guys can't get mad at him for stirring up the pot. So let's just start the show on that, and then we'll roll back. So what do you think about it?
I'll tell you what, it's funny. There's a lot of people out there who can just run their mouth. And I wouldn't even consider Stevie Fast one of those guys who runs his mouth. First of all, he's a true professional. He's as good as it gets as a driver. He understands all aspects of our sport. And I'll tell you what, he knows just those buttons to push to get the rise out of people. That's a damn good thing for our sport, regardless of the class, regardless of the rules or where he's racing or what association is racing. He's got that thing by the neck. And I'll tell you what, I heard you talking about his D&Q in Gainesville. Let me tell you something. First of all, it's okay for anybody to have a bad weekend. All right. So you don't think he's going to work harder never to be back? Secondly, in like regards to the Pro Charge cars and stuff, that was an interesting racetrack in Gainesville, and it seemed to be suited for other cars. Us on the funny cars, we had a hell of a time at Gainesville as well. So we kind of compare ourselves to the blown Pro Mods as well. And I see where he's coming from. I mean, we had to make a lot of adjustments. And honestly, I think coming out of the wintertime, maybe Stevie just ran out of time. I'm excited to see him at the next one and see how he does, because it's going to be, I guarantee you, he's going to be fast.
Oh yeah, you cannot sleep, and that's the one thing about it that's why I'm a stir of the pot kind of guy. I love everything about that. What he's doing, what Alex is doing, I honestly think what Steve Torrance did at the top end a couple of years ago, we need that. You go to a football game, there's animosity, there's fights, there's grabbing each other, there's this, there's that. People like that. People don't go to a hockey game to watch them score goals. I mean, yeah, it's a nice part about it. They go to watch a fight and drink beer. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, it was pretty cool because I'd met Stevie one other time. I think we both won an NHRA race, and we were talking in the winter circle, and he came out and drove a funny car for the Whiteleys in St. Louis last year at the Midwest Drag Racing Series race, and I could see him. We pulled up in the staging lanes, and he was just hanging off to the side, and that sucker, he pulled up right beside me. He goes, "Been waiting for you." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, I hear you're really good at this. I just want to see how good you are at this." And let the crap talking start. It was awesome. And for the record, I left on him and got there first. So, Stevie, just in case you didn't forget that.
And that's why you're a two-time champ and you are on a three-peat right now. I mean, we can't look past that either.
Well, from that side, that's the boring side because I can sit and just jaw about my team all night long. I happen to drive for maybe the best crew chief in the history of the sport, and I will defend that to the end. Guy by the name of Steve Boggs. Anything he touches turns to gold, and he's just smarter than everybody. In fact, a couple of times over my driving career for these guys, we had some fingers pointed at us a little bit from unnamed people, but well, we might be doing something you shouldn't be doing. Any tech guy, any racer, anybody wants to come on by, I'm just going to point you to my crew chief because he's just smarter than everybody else. And I'm lucky enough to get to drive that car for that guy. So, the driving for Tony Bartone and that team, he gives all the resources in the world. And Steve Boggs has all the time to think about it, all the stuff he wants to try and all the resources to go out and try those things. And so, like I said, in the end, I end up being the one that looks good just because I happen to drive the thing. But I mean, it's the perfect A+ team that I just got to go drive for. And it's damn, it's been a fun ride.
No, and that's awesome, right? That you can do that. And it shows, and no, I guess not to you or anything like that, but you have to have a persona too when you strap into that car, when you get in there. There's a different atmosphere. And when you line up next to someone, hey, you can't let them see, hey, maybe I might be worried about this. Hey, maybe I might have some opinions about this. But having a guy like him come up to you and say, hey, I know who you are. You know who I am. I want a piece I want a piece of you. That's got to feel good for you being like, hey, man, this dude's top notch and he's coming for me. But I'm gonna show him because, hey, rookie, take your seat, take your seat, wait your time before you come knocking at the champ, right?
Well, what was pretty badass about it is I was giving Stevie a hard time about leaving because that funny car I drove had a converter in it, and so he come up and he goes, hey, I hear you're pretty good on the tree, and I said, well, thanks, man, I work hard at it, and he goes, well, in pro mod you got to be like 15 or 20 every time. I said, yeah, but you leave with a button. Anybody knew that. And he laughed and kind of punched me in the chest. Oh, all right. Good. Yeah, good one. So, it's, but again, anytime I tell that story about me and Stevie, I can't stress enough. He's the ultimate professional. He's the ultimate racer. I've got nothing but love and respect for the man and what he's done. He is badass. We ended up that same weekend racing him in the final, and he red lit. And, and we were tough. I mean, and his car was running good. Our car was running good. It was right there. Got out the other end. He grabbed me right in the face mask of my helmet. And he said, hey, he goes, damn it, you got me. And he goes, I'm coming for you next time. And I said, Stevie, I'd expect no less. And you're absolutely right. Our sport needs that, and I just hope the camera's in the right place at the right time to catch some of that, because it seems like people are nodding off sometimes when they shouldn't be. So I love talking about him. I know he loves to be talked about. He's got ADD just as bad as I do. We joke about we've got 10 conversations that are 30% done, but he's great for our class. And like I said, I'm always excited to see what he's going to bring.
No, and like you said, I personally, since we dove right into this, I want to see more of it. I need it. I'm an action-packed guy. I want to see wear your heart on your sleeve. Everyone gets mad at the legend, John Force. Everyone gets mad at him. Fox is mad at him. NHRA is mad at him because he says the F word. Go to anyone's pit during the weekend. You're going to hear it 15 times. Whether it was a good pass, whether it was a bad pass or anything, you're going to hear it. Get used to it. And I understand it. It's TV. I understand, we're supposed to be polite and everyone's supposed to be courteous and kind-hearted. But no, This is a sport. If we want to grow the sport, people don't want to see the guy sitting there eating his box of popcorn and a lollipop saying, yeah, well, we did good today. We're going to be back tomorrow. But, no one wants to see that.
It's pretty cool. We ran the Midwest Drag Racing Series race in Ferris, Texas last weekend, and that series has picked up MAV TV. And so there were TV cameras all around, and it was really cool. A lot of media attention. And one of the things they said in the meeting was, and this came right from the president of the Midwest Drag Racing Series, who's a racer himself, Keith Haney, and Keith can talk some too. I love it. But he said, guys, the emphasis on this whole series is be candid, be you, say what you're going to say. I don't want to polish this up for anything. We want to see the grassroots racing here, whether you're in a pro mod or a funny car or in a junior dragster or a sportsman car, it doesn't matter. Let her rip. And man, was that a breath of fresh air. And as much fun as I've had in a long time at a race.
Yeah, and Keith, I mean, like you said, Keith Haney can talk his fair share. We've seen the videos going around, and just being, in his presence, you can definitely tell that. But Lee had a question for you, so I better not ask the boss man's question. He says, how does it feel getting treated like a VIP in the Midwest drag racing series instead of in the NHRA, where they say, hey, you know what, maybe go park in the back? How does that feel for you?
It's interesting you say that. And in NHRA's defense, and I'm not sugarcoating this at all, they've actually, I think we got their attention because last year was awful. Year before that was awful. The Midwest Series was such a breath of fresh air, being treated so well last year. NHRA has actually done some things already this year. We noticed in Gainesville and already some talks previous to Vegas that I think maybe we got their attention a little bit. So anyway, before I go too much further than that, I will give some kudos to NHRA because they at least are hopefully heading in the right direction. To answer the question, holy crap, is it awesome. I grew up around alcohol funny cars. My dad raced. My dad actually drove fuel Aldards back in the 70s, but growing up in the 80s and 90s around here in Southern California in the alcohol funny car scene, what the Midwest Series reminds me of is the match race days of the alcohol funny car scene here in Southern California. Number one priority is have fun. Number two priority is have some good, safe racing. And number three, have fun again. Just go let her rip. And the fans at these races, the officials at these races, the track themselves. My God, the track was so damn good. We ran, I think, a 357 one run, which parlays out to a high 530. We couldn't give it enough. What a breath of fresh air it was. I've got so many stories about the staff at the Midwest Series, hanging out after the races and having beers and just, I don't know, what time do you want to run? We were in Tulsa last year and they came by and said, there's still a lot of fans in the stands. You guys want another qualifying run? What? Usually we get our qualifying runs cut from us. Nah, hell, have another one. People want to see funny cars. Let's go racing. Hey, will you do a little bigger burnout? They like big burnouts. It's awesome. I can't say enough how great it's been. Haney and I are actually talking about doing a match race and qualifying one of these times. If he can ever get his pro mod to run quick enough, I think we might get a good race for him.
There you go, Keith. Shots fired. we like that. I don't know if you watch, not between the slicks, but Competition Plus Power Hour. Lee and I had Johnny Placino on the other night. And Courtney Enders was in the comments, yakking it up about Team Elite. And Johnny pretty much called him out, said they're giving him 3/10. And it was like, okay, here we go. We're setting up grudge races, the Mountain Motor guys versus EE. So, Team Elite versus Team Placino. So, I like it. I love everything about it. Anything that excites the fans, like you said, giving you guys another chance at qualifying. Why not? Like, if you're there and you have the time to do it, I like it. Just like the door slammers. I like things about that. You have the time to sit there and do it. Chip draws. It's different. It's okay. We don't have to be the box cutter sport day in and day out. It's okay. NHRA, it's okay to do something a little different. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's my personal opinion.
My opinion on that is I ask for two things as a driver. I ask for fairness and I ask for a safe racetrack. That's all I ask. I want to know that if I wad up, I want to have a good fire crew that's going to get my butt out. and that everybody's got the same shot. And that's, that's really all you can ask. Other than that, let her rip. Let's have some fun. I mean, at these Midwest Drag Racing Series races, I can't tell you how many times my team, who is a lot of veterans in our sport, how many times we have literally said, holy, you know what? Did you see that? I saw a twin turbo pickup truck run 200 in the 8th mile. I saw a Top Fuel motorcycle try to crash into something else. I saw an Opel GT run, 420 that with a helmet. Guy looked like he bought it at a yard sale. And it's awesome. I mean, it just, you just on the edge of your seat to wait to see what's going to come around the corner next. And with the funny cars coming into the Midwest Series, alcohol funny car obviously isn't a new class, but it is to maybe the door car crowd. Okay, so what can we do to enhance the experience of the funny cars? Does it mean racing pro mods? Cool, let's do it. There was even jokes going around about switching a pro mod driver for a funny car driver and have them drive each other's cars against each other. You know what? Fair game. Let's let her rip. I'm all about it, man. I've been in the sport a long time, and I intend, hopefully, on being in the sport a lot longer. We're gonna need something to keep this going. Because look at the wave of the the no prep style door car. It's all new, and some of the old timers might call it a gimmick. Well, you know what? We need something. I'm all ears, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. The door slammer, the outlaw racing, and everything like that. Because I have some people that I work with at my 9 to 5. They asked me today. They go, Sam, all you do is watch drag racing videos. That's all you talk about. Like if they ever see me in a t-shirt or a hat that's not, company issued, they go, everything is racing with you. Why? And I go, I love it. It's in my blood, a kid from California. So we're definitely going to dive into the California stuff here later on in the show, but a kid from California raced legal at Qualcomm Stadium. Like that's what I did, and I was describing, I'm like, you watch Paul Walker. You've seen that. Everyone wants a 16-speed transmission. You press nitrous, the floorboards go flying through. So, I mean, we come through this evolution, and then one of my buddies, he owns a Corvette. And I say, when you look at a Corvette driver, what do you see? And he goes, well, a 45 to 60-year-old guy, polo shirt or, some linen type shirt, outfit, and boat shoes. And I'm like, exactly. That's what the mass media sees of racing. They don't see this whole other side that we've got that's blooming and blossoming, that's creating a whole nother generation of this sport. And that's what things like this do. It promotes it, it brings it out, and it shows that, hey, we can all have fun in our own different ways.
And that's important. I consider myself a historian of the sport. I used to work at Pomona Raceway and actually used to go over to the NHRA museum like every day for lunch. I used to bug the hell out of them, but it's again, a lot of the old timers think, well, we've got to just play the ABCs of drag racing and the people will still come. And that's not the case. And I've been asked a lot of times about, well, what about this gimmick or that gimmick? And my answer to that is, who cares? Let them come. As long as they're here, who cares what they're here to see? And I'll tell you, a series that's done a nice job of that is John and Blake Bowser that own Bakersfield, the Famoso Raceway at the March Meet. The March Meet is a heritage vintage race that has had people coming and coming and coming. Well, you know what? They brought pro mods one time, and they brought this and they brought that, and and they've made it work over the years. And Blake himself has told me, people scrutinize him for it. Well, it's the heritage of the March Meet. The people are here, though, aren't they? Aren't they here to watch us race? So who gives a crap how they got there or why they wanted to? To me, it's very important for people to understand the history of our sport, just so they can have a respect of why it is where it is today. But at the same time, we also need to be open to embracing the up and coming and the new and the future. I'll tell you personally myself, one thing that I absolutely hate is the thought of the electric vehicle thing. I like having me a
yes!
V8. Okay. But
take that, Lee. Take that. Shove it. Yes.
The reality is that there might be something here for that, and that might bring a new crowd. Now, are you ever going to get rid of the piston powered engines? No. I mean, and despite what California politicians tell you, it ain't going anywhere. Okay. But, but there might be a new thing there. So, I got to tell you, I'm excited for all of it. Somebody wants to race me an electric funny car, bring it. I'll take my Brad Anderson Hemi to the starting line anytime they want.
Blow their doors off. Hey, we got a question here for you, and then we're going to kind of dive into some of the numbers and the bolts and nuts of this. But what is the possibility of maybe nitro injected? Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh boy, how much time are you gonna give me? It's I've got two sides to that answer. The driver of the clutch laden blown alcohol 3-speed top alcohol funny car, I hate it. There's nothing more fun than taking a close to 4,000 horsepower engine, revving it up to 7,000 RPM with the engine literally the tips of your toes, swapping feet and banging gears at 10,000 RPM. That is the coolest thing in the whole wide world. An injected nitro car, you stand on the gas, you wait till the finish line. Now, my crew chief, Steve Boggs, had the injected nitro dragster record for a long time at 510, I think, 510, 511. And he promises me that car could go 235 miles an hour to the 8th mile. That sounds like a pretty damn good ride. So I guess I'd be a little contradictory of myself if I said, well, I'm not open to it because of what we just talked about. Nitro, some badass stuff. I've driven different types of nitro cars. I'd be open to it. The guy who loves swapping feet and shifting gears and doing that side of it, I think the top alcohol car would be more fun to drive. I'm open to an injected nitro car. Absolutely. I know a few of them are actually being built for the funny car chaos stuff. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes. The thing that I fear, like any class with diversity, look what's going on in Pro Mod right now, is that if we or someone else got an injected nitro car together and went out and really flew with it, and all of a sudden you take all the rules and throw them up in the air. And that's a little concerning, especially when you're fighting for championships like we do, is, it can put you on your back for a couple of races trying to figure out new rules. But am I welcome to it? You're damn right I am. Would I like to drive one? Yeah, I'd like to drive one, but man, I love leaving at 7,000 and popping a clutch. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. So to get into, like you said, the championships, you started off, you're starting off pretty hot. You got the Baby Gators. You got the opener of the Midwest Drag Racing Series. You got that going, the Keith Haney events, and then you've got the Gator Nat. Like, what is the momentum now going into everything? I mean, that's a hot start, kind of putting everybody in saying, hey, take this.
Well, yeah, I mean, and anytime you get on a roll like that, all you want to do is keep racing. If there was one thing I'd rather be doing right now, it'd be sitting in my funny car next to somebody. But, I credit a lot of that to the preparedness of the team. Any driver is only as good as the car that's under them. And once again, the team that Tony Bartone's assembled is, I mean, there's not enough time to take you through the heart and dedication and the experience that these guys have. I'm just lucky to be a part of it. We've gotten lucky a little bit. The final round at the Baby Gators, I actually did my best to crash the thing, and fortunately didn't do that. I made a mistake driving, should have crashed it. Fortunately, my competitor, Chris Houle, red lit. I didn't see the red light, and so I kept driving, about drove right through the guardrail. But we've gotten a little bit of luck. I'd like to think that over the years, our reputation gained us a little bit of that luck. So I maybe some of that is earned. But you know what? You're only as good as the round in front of you. Right now, all the, those wins, I'm tickled pink that we started this way. Momentum is great. Doesn't mean a damn thing come Q1 of Las Vegas. So, we just got to keep our head down and stay focused. And I'll tell you what, this next race in Las Vegas, 4 wide for the first time in top alcohol. Now you want to talk about controversy. Get 4 top alcohol funny cars trying to stage up at the same time, or injected nitro dragsters and blown alcohol dragsters. A friend of mine I was talking to, they said, what they ought to do is at the turnout is put a big ring with those foam bats and let the drivers get out and beat the hell out of each other at the other end, because there's going to be some crap there. So been trying to do a little homework there, but I'll tell you what, that's going to be a fun race to watch.
I just got to ask, since you've already said this, after your first round, I want to be somewhere in the vicinity to probably go to the top end with your team to see your reaction. So I don't know if we can make that possible. I will be at Vegas, but I want to get to the top end to make sure, if that's going to happen, that would be great content. But no, even just to get the idea of, how does it feel, that first reaction for everyone doing that? I think that's going to be a fun time. It's going to be nerve-wracking, but hey, guess what? It's a different site. It's a different chain. So hopefully, we can work that out so I can get to the top end and see how that goes for you guys. But, let's see here. We've got Colton Jordan, also a crew chief. So yeah, Colton, he's an announcer. He does a great job. He's probably going to maybe co-host this show one day. So he's a young knowledge ball. Anytime you have any questions or anything, he's always got some little, hidden gem that he can pop in with. So that's cool. But rocking that number one on the car, this is a two-sided question. The first question is, what is it like that day when you guys are putting stickers on the car and you guys are rolling everything out and it's like, we get to put this sticker on the car?
When we won the championship in 2018, and keep in mind, my lifelong dream growing up was to drive a top alcohol funny car. I was raised around them. My dad was partner in one. My dad actually drove one for a while, and my family and I also have a top alcohol car here on the West Coast that just, basically because of budget constraints, we don't have the money to go run the full tour. So the first step was getting that call from Steve Boggs about driving Bartone's car, because it is a nationally known top tier car that Tony has proven himself, Steve's proven himself, so that the answer to that question was really simple, as far as going to drive for him. But the way we worked ourselves through that year, in 2018, and I was fortunate enough to have a year, in 2007, I drove for a guy named Bob DeVore, who's been around the sport forever, incredibly good crew chief. And he taught me a lot about the discipline of going for a championship. It's different than going to a race and trying to win a race than it is to lay out a long season. That season is a marathon, not a sprint. So he taught me a lot. He kept me really grounded that year. But when it came time to actually put that number one on the car, what was so cool is we went to Pomona. 15 minutes up the freeway from me, right here, due north of me. And come Sunday night after the races were over, Jay Payne actually came over with a sticker number one. He walked up and he slapped it on the side of my car and he goes, "That's yours now, kid." And that's when it hit me right then. We were able to wrap it up a little earlier in the year, but when Jay one of my heroes, Jay Payne, it walked up and slapped that number one on the car, it was like, holy crap, this really happened. It's something that the team has deserved for years. I'm just glad that I got to be the guy sitting in the seat to help them get it. I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. It's awesome. It's the best.
That's awesome. And so now the second part of that question is, what is the pressure like? Every race you go to, what is the pressure like knowing that, hey, I'm number one? Everyone is gunning for me. It's not, oh, well, I have a chance, here, there. What is that pressure like? I know it's probably not right there in your face, but you got to feel it.
Absolutely. After we won in 18, the 2019 season, in my opinion, was actually a lot harder to keep the number one than 18 was to go get it. That pressure, you try not to stare directly in the face because it'll get to you. And I think it'll get to anyone. So that's one thing that I try to leave in the hotel room. Do you think about it? Of course you do. Anybody be lying to you if they said they didn't, but I try to leave that at the hotel room because the goal of each day is different. When you're qualifying, it's to qualify the car well. It's to get down a tricky racetrack in the summertime or really fly and when the conditions are great. But come time for actual race day, I like to try to leave those. I call those the petty things. Those are the things I can't control. So I leave those back at the hotel room and look at every competitor and try to beat them as much badly as they want to beat me. And so I approach the number 16 qualifier the same way I would the number 1 or 2 qualifier, because you have to. Otherwise, when you get off of your routine, you're screwed. You may as well load up and leave, because now they got you where they want you. And so it definitely was harder the second year than it was the first year. And, you get people jawing at you and telling you, hey, I'm coming for you and all that good stuff. And that sort of thing, Bob DeVore taught me this. I actually tried to channel that into taking that as a compliment. If they're screwing with you, that means they're trying to rattle you and they feel like they have to. And I just smile and shake their hand and cool and, good race to you. And, it's something now that we weren't last year's NHRA national champion. I look at Doug Gordon, who won it last year, and I can see him in the crosshairs. And the Gainesville, Ferris, Texas thing, I've never seen my team more focused. And so I think that's our way of maybe saying to the class, hey, we don't like getting that championship taken from us. And so we're really focused. And I want to have that pressure back on us from having it again, because it's Gordon won it fair and square last year, and we need to, in my eyes, we need to get it back.
And like I said, Colton is always dropping knowledge. So here it is right here. It says, when you're racing top alcohol funny car in the 8th mile, you're shifting into high gear during the run, and you're crossing the finish line in second gear. If you're in high gear, do you change the gears in order to get as much as you can out of it? So, great question.
That's a great question. And I'll tell you what, that answer varies, and it depends on where we are and what the conditions are. With one of the big tuning factors with top alcohol funny car is transmission gear. And so depending on how good the track is, like for instance, in Ferris, Texas last weekend, we were running a little taller transmission gear because the air was so good that the car could take it. I like to shift. My crew chief, Steve Boggs, doesn't have me shifting that high, actually. A lot of people think, oh my God, you must wring that thing's neck. I actually shift right about 10,000 RPM. Some guys are almost like 11. I'm like, I can't wait that long. But so for instance, if we are at a race like that, I could keep the thing in second gear probably till it crosses the finish line, because it's a little taller gear heading that way. Now, what I do, because a place like Ferris, Texas is a purpose-built 8th mile track, and at 215 miles an hour, the shutdown area is a little on the short side, is I actually have the shift light set to go on from an RPM standpoint right about when we cross the finish line. That's how I know when to pull the parachutes. So at night, and you're trying to get down the racetrack, and you may be a little lost where you're at on the track, I look for that shift light and I hit the button, pull the parachute at the same time. Now, like last year when we were in, trying to think of one of the really hot ones, actually back in Ferris, and it was 110 degrees outside, and the track was really tricky, and the motors were making no power. Well, we ran a little shorter transmission gear, and we actually set the shift light down to where I'd shift it in high gear and then pull the parachute. So I was in high gear there, but maybe not so on the cooler tracks. But that's a really good question, and I know you can just hear it in the videos. Some of the other teams do it a completely different way than I do. I know Chris Marshall was staying in second gear the whole way, and I could actually hear his car. It was like, my God, shift that thing, because, it just kind of depends, but that's how we lay it out.
Yeah, that's awesome right there. It'll be cool to let funny cars make first round call outs. What do you think about that?
Hell yes. That would be awesome.
Do you think it'll ever happen?
No. Nah, well, not in NHRA. And I can see that side of it. They're so structured that they have to be that way. I'll tell you, if I had my way, so back in the 70s, NHRA had a class called Pro Comp. If you look up on Pro Comp, it was awesome. And my dad ran in Pro Comp, and actually my crew chief, Steve Boggs, ran in Pro Comp. I would love to see a modern day Pro Comp. And what I was thinking was top alcohol funny car, nostalgia top fuel dragster, nostalgia nitro funny car, outlaw pro mod. Anything that can run in like the 360s in the 8th mile, somewhere in there.
Wes.
Yep.
here's another event for you.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah. I was going to say, you want to make it real interesting, run it in Denver. But anyway, so if you did that, made it an open 32 car field, bring it and do first round call outs for that, funny car call out a Pro Mod or a Nostalgia Top Fuel car, that would be awesome. I mean,
this falls into my All-Star weekend. I think, like I said, I think you should get like a pro stock driver has to drive a Pro Mod. So like Alex Laughlin, okay, yeah, he can do both. But then you have to get maybe a Antron Brown has to drive a pro stock and switch it up. Everybody's got it. So it's a points thing, right? So for a week straight, you take it and you have different racing and different things. So now you have a points race. You get points for this, you get points for that. Now it makes it fun. It's a shootout. You have different cars racing each other, and you do it in a neutral location. That way a lot of people can come, or a destination location, a different track, bring them on, and do that. And it will draw a lot more people to come out for an all-star week where they can be interactive with their racers, and it gives everyone an equal opportunity to do it. And I think, just like Pat's saying here about what you're saying in Denver, hey, people are going to buy tickets. I mean,
oh man, there's so many fast race cars out there, and I'll admit I had no clue what all really is out there, and I probably still don't. But I was a lot more exposed to it when we started running this Midwest series. But like I actually saw a truck in Ferris, Texas last weekend run, and the first time I saw it was in Tulsa last year. This is an S10, I'm guessing a former pro stock truck with twin turbos that runs 200 in the 8th mile. This thing's insane. If you could put something together when you can go call out another class like that, run a pro tree, heads up, go do it. I mean, and I understand like what they're doing with Funny Car Chaos this weekend is kind of the same idea.
Chaos. Sorry. It just happened.
I actually had to talk my crew chief out of running that race this weekend. I ended up being the bad guy. Well, so here's the deal. All right, hold on. Hear me out. So if chaos is, really basically run what you brung, no rules, my crew chief, Steve Boggs, who I swear does this just because he's bored, but he had the idea to get a top alcohol dragster blower overdrive, which is obviously not legal in top alcohol funny car, and a bigger fuel pump, and just go see what it would run. He thinks that the thing could run in the low 340s. And boy, that thing would be a rocket ship. Now, the reason I turned it down before everybody starts screaming at me is because of the start we've had, and with where we're at in the championship for both NHRA and the Midwest. I don't want to lose our tune-up. I got a happy race car right now, and I don't want to do anything to it. So, hopefully people can understand that side.
No, I totally understand that. I mean, you're leading, 3 back-to-back wins. Why mess up a good thing, right? Scott is saying like the 2 rotor cars at Orlando. Speaking of that, I don't know if you've even seen that. Did you see Lizzie Musey's old car go 650 at 262? Like what? Or no, what was it? 620 or it was mind blowing. Like I have a video of Al Tucci going up to the guy, and the car is, I mean, here to here. And when you talk to them, they say we rather drive those cars when they're out of control than when they're in control, because we know we're on a pass when they're out of control. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like to a normal racer, it's like, I want my car to be in control. But those guys, here's people saying you need to go radio racing. And that brings me into my next thing. What else would you like to drive? Like, what else would you like to do? Any thoughts of kind of doing like the smoke and getting on some dirt, or not interested?
I'll drive about anything that's put in front of me, as long as it's not in the water and not on 2 wheels. I like to be strapped to my rocket ship, and I don't want to sink in it. But it's funny. I've had a couple of offers to drive pro mods, and it's I'm such a funny car guy. Jim Whiteley and I were talking about this last week, and I said, Jim, I would crash it probably in the burnout. The difference between a pro mod and a funny car is funny car you wrestle the hell out of. And not that you don't in a pro mod, you do, but it's a finesse thing with that sprung rear end. I've seen too many guys flip upside down and get stupid. I'm 20 years of driving a funny car, and I probably do really, really bad in a pro mod. Would I like to try it? Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
the perfect time for you to do that is come to Orlando or wherever the Door Slammers is going to be next year. Come down, rent a ride. Elite's got a lot of them. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know that. So call Richard, call Wes. I'm pretty sure they can make that happen. I think you made Lee a little bit mad when you said you weren't coming to Funny Car Chaos. So he's saying stop the show. Lee, no, that's not going to happen because I'm running it tonight. Hey, I understand exactly why he's saying that he doesn't want to do that. But to kind of close this all out, you're a California guy. I'm a California guy. You're in the OC, as we call it. I'm from San Diego. So, I mean, what are your favorite? Are you a Mexican food kind of guy? Jamba Juice? I mean, there's just so many great things out there in California.
Yeah. So my wife and kids, I got 3 daughters. God bless me.
Prom,
even right,
winter
damn
formals.
dog, the damn dog's a girl too. So I'm outnumbered. But anyway, we actually went to Mexican food last night. We are a beach going Cal family. I mean, it's, this day and age and this point in my life, it's all about my kids. My oldest is into softball, so it's big time Mexican food eating. My wife and I drink margaritas a lot, and we just like to hang out a bunch, man. It's being on the road as much as I am, and in the local races, like my family will go to Vegas with me, and if we run Pomona, they'll go up there. But I love it here. Born and raised here. My dad was hardcore into the drag racing scene in the 60s and 70s. My mom was actually operations manager of Orange County International Raceway. That's how my mom and my dad met. So
I've been there a couple of times. My uncle from the Pasadena area used to drive bikes, and it creeped me out. I will never get on a bike. I know Lee's talking about getting on a Harley. No way. It's not happening for me. I won't do it. I'm like you. 2 wheels. No, thank you. But how does that feel? How does that feel for you? Your hometown track, Pomona, it's postponed. I mean, how does that feel knowing that situation?
It breaks my heart, man. I used to work there. I worked there full time, long time ago. I was head of fire safety there, and did a bunch of facility stuff for them. And I got a lot of heart into that track. I grew up. My earliest memories of being a little boy being raised here is from there. And I drove by it a couple weeks ago, and it absolutely broke my heart, man. It needs a lot of work. I wish we had a clear answer to what's actually going to happen there. I mean, the racetrack itself, the racetrack has gone downhill. It's bumpy. They worked on it a little bit last year. I mean, but they need to work on it some more. And God, I hope they hang on. I mean, it's, you hear all these different rumors out there, and I hate rumors. But it needs some love, man. And it needs to bring, good old Southern California drag racing back. There's nothing quite like freezing your ass off, sitting in the grandstands in February, watching Top Fuel on a Friday evening. Because they run fast, and it's just, there's something about Pomona, man. And I hope it pulls through. I mean, this pandemic's been hard on everybody, of course, and you throw in some local politics and some other crap, and it just hasn't been a good recipe for drag racing here in California.
Oh yeah. And I know how you feel, right? You say freezing your butt off. I live in North Dakota, so I know all about the cold. I went to Florida in the middle of winter. It was like 12 degrees here. When Texas got their freeze, oh my God, it's 2 degrees. I'm like, dude, it's negative 67 outside. Like I'm on the phone with Wes Buck, and he's like, dude, I don't understand this. And then I called my aunt, and she's like, I'm freezing. I'm like, I'm outside at work right now, and it's negative 67. So I get what you're saying. We want to all, unthaw, get down to California, get to Vegas, and have fun, enjoy the beach, enjoy the sun that never goes away there. So I mean, it's just great to be able to connect with a California kid yourself, as I am. Like I said, growing up at the beach and being able to go to Big Bear, in a couple hours. People don't understand that. Like, what? You went surfing in the morning and snowboarding at night? Like, yeah, I mean, it's what I did as a kid.
Yeah, I literally did that a few years ago just to say I did it. I went to Mountain High in the morning and was in Newport Beach in the afternoon just to say I did it. Oh yeah. It's funny. You said you used to race at Qualcomm.
Yep. Street legal. Oh man, back in the day.
I was in the first pair ever down the track in Qualcomm in a junior dragster, 1996.
Yeah, I'm pretty like I'm religiously. We were out there every week. My brother's first car was a Jetta, a 4-door Jetta that my cousin had before. They stripped all the interior out of it. It only had 2 seats in it, and they stripped the door handle, so he had the little popper door handle that didn't always work all the time. So then I would have to like crawl through the trunk to open the doors from the inside. After that, he got a CRX. I rode around in the trunk of that thing illegally in California so many times to go to different races, street races that we had. So Qualcomm Stadium, I mean, it's not the same, unfortunately. Well, fortunate for me, I'm not a Chargers fan. So seeing that place, not the same. And then I see this Anaheim flag behind you. I mean, the one team that I like out of California is the Padres. So, kind of shaky there, but we'll forgive you. We can look past that. We've got a lot of teams to root for.
We're no threat. Trust me.
Hey, I remember going there as a kid. You guys got one of the nicest stadiums, though. I can say that. You guys got a really nice facility. So with a waterfall and everything back there in the back. But, hey, we've had you on here for quite a while. Who do you want to thank? What are you looking forward to in Vegas? What's your plans there?
Do what we've been doing. I mean, again, I know I pissed people off, but that's one of the reasons why we didn't run Chaos is so we could focus on Vegas. Obviously, my race team, starting with Tony Bartone, he's the man. I mean, he was a badass racer in his day. Has carried on his passion to being a team owner, and he loves to win every bit as much as he did when he drove. And so the rest of us feed off of that energy from him. My crew chief, Steve Boggs, the rest of my guys, I mean, there's about 80 of them, but they're spread all over the country, and Tony and Steve have handpicked those guys. I got my car chief's out of Oklahoma named Troy Green. I've raced nostalgia cars with Troy. Troy is a bad dude, man. And, all the people on our team, my family, my wife and kids, I can't wait to go to Vegas because it's tough when you go off racing without your family. I'm a family man. I love being a dad. And so when they're there with me, it's kind of gives me a calming effect. It's really cool. And the team loves them, and got my little ones running around the pit area. So, I'm looking for some really interesting things. I've been studying up on the 4-wide thing a little bit and trying to at least half act like I know what I'm doing when we go up to stage the first time. So it's going to be fun. Like I said earlier in this deal, I'm really excited for the new things to happen in drag racing, and for our class and Top Alcohol Funny Car, we need a shot in the arm. Our class needs it, and especially on the NHRA side. So, if you get 4 of them revving up at 7,000 and screwing up and trying to hit each other and whatever, bring it on. It's going to be a good time.
No, that's awesome. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully, like I said, we can get some, footage for you, help promote you in any possible way down there in Vegas, and, just relate with another California guy. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we're not too far away from it. So it's going to be a great time down there, and 4-wide, shake it up. So why not, right?
Yeah, no, it'll be good. I need to get Haney to go to some 4-wide racetracks, and we can do pro mods versus funny cars. That'll be fun.
There you go. I mean, you're just shaking the pot. I like it. There's just so much, Lee. You're gonna have to do another episode, or I might just have to have you on my show so we can talk about all this match racing that you want to do and all of that. And look at that. The big guns, the Al Tucci is on here. He's saying you're a bad dude. If there's one thing that I love about Al Tucci, and I think anybody can agree with this, and I'll let you go after that, is when Al gets on the mic, he covers that one ear and says, "It's a beautiful smoky burnout." So hopefully I did you justice there. Al Tucci, great guy, supports everything. But Sean, it's been a pleasure for you to come on and yak it up with me, even though Lee was not here. I'm pretty sure Lee's going to thank you a million times for what you have done, for coming on his show and supporting him. And like I said, I will see you in Vegas, and hopefully I can get a pit pass and come in and yak it up with you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I look forward to it. This has been a lot of fun. I like the candid stuff, and you know, like I said, anybody that I've talked about, it's of the utmost respect. I mean, yeah, we talk a little crap, but in the end, we shake hands, have a beer together. It's a good time out there. It's been fun today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, and God bless, and you stay safe, and we'll see you in a couple of days.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, everybody, that was Sean. He is #1 top alcohol funny car driver, doing great things out of California. So a California connection here for me hosting this show. It's been great. It's been fun, guys. I mean, Lee's got a platform that nobody can touch. He says it's the most diverse racing show that's out there, and I just put a little splash, a little bit of flavor back in it today, so you can't say that it's not diverse. He's sharing the media reins with everybody. If you go to his page, Lee is sharing everybody's stuff. He's liking, he's commenting, he's interactive with people. And, that's the only way that it grows. Having these conversations with people like Sean is, telling his story. Because, yes, that's what we hear is NHRA, this and that. They carry it, but we have to look at all these other sportsman racers, all these other people that have done great things in our sport, that continue to grow our sport. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm excited what the future holds. And like he said, we need more characters. We need more people laughing, having fun, joking around, calling each other out. If we can get some of these guys calling each other out and NHRA will let it, hey, let this happen. Haney, I mean, he said it millions of times on the show a couple of times. Hey, let's do this versus that. Wes Buck, he's saying, hey, bring them to the mountain. Why not? Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. People are coming in saying great show. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, I did Lee justice here tonight on his show as we're closing it out. If anyone's got any comments for me, but I will try and get some more video for you guys of what Sean is doing down in Vegas. Keep you guys up to date. Maybe some live feeds on my page, and that is Outlaw Performance ENT. I'm Slammin' Sam. You guys are saying you enjoyed every minute of it. I don't know what Al's doing there. Him and Colton have a secret love affair, but hey, that's what drag racing does to us. It brings us all together. But I've yacked it up. We've been on here a little bit, but again, you guys check out the Competition Plus Power Hour. Give all of Lee's videos a like and a share if you have not already. Subscribe to Lee's stuff. All my stuff can be caught on Outlaw Performance ENT. That is on all your major platforms. Again, I'm Slammin' Sam. Let's see what these final comments. You are not Amish looking. I am not the Amish guy. Let me put on the glasses before I wrap you guys out. Not Amish at all. Sorry. More Caribbean, color, throwing some salt in there. Lee, again, I can't thank you enough for letting me host this show here for you tonight. I hope I did not smash that loud pedal too hard for you. Hopefully next week when you come on, you still have some listeners. But it's been fun. It's been a pleasure. But until next Thursday night when Lee is on, you guys keep burning those slicks. You guys keep floating those valves and smashing that loud pedal and smashing the likes and the shares to tell the story of all the great racing that we've got going on. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. I'm Slammin' Sam signing out between the slicks. Peace.